Today we're continuing our look at the Skywalker Saga, or rather the important tales that took place in between the major episodes of that story. Last week we covered the 3 canon stories that took place in between The Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. This week we're going in between episodes 2 and 3. Obviously, the big one here is the Clone Wars. The entire 6 seasons, which will be 7 in February, cover the 3-year period in between the last 2 films in the prequel trilogy. I'm not going to cover every episode because that would be insane, but instead I'll focus on the events that directly affected Anakin as he approached his fall to the dark side. Anakin is given a gifted, headstrong Padawan of his own named Ahsoka Tano. At first, he is resistant to the idea of training someone, but he quickly finds himself growing attached and feeling responsible for the young girl. Not only does Anakin teach Ahsoka, but she in turn teaches him to show more restraint and care during the war. Unfortunately, she also highlights Anakin's fear to lose anyone that he cares about, and of course his wife Padme is present through the conflict as well. On many occasions, Anakin puts several innocent lives at risk to prioritize the safety of Padme, Ahsoka, or both. What's more is he shows a willingness to use the dark side of the Force as a means to an end. Anakin also displays methods that the Jedi would consider to be questionable at best in order to save innocent lives, including stabbing a man in the back to save a ship full of senators. But key to his slow fall into darkness are his relationships and controlling nature. When Padme is sent to spy on a former romantic interest, he tries to forbid her from going and is clearly jealous and untrusting of his own wife the entire time. Anakin's role as the Chosen One is put to the test when he, Ahsoka, and Obi-Wan are all transported to the mysterious realm of Mortis, where 3 Force gods battle for supremacy. The father has been tasked with keeping the balance between his son and daughter, but in his advanced age he knows he cannot control them much longer. He hopes that Anakin can fulfill that role and is proven correct, but the presence of the 3 Jedi on Mortis result in the deaths of all 3 beings. As the Clone Wars near their end, Anakin grows more and more disillusioned with the Jedi Order, their methods, and their ideology. Ahsoka is framed for a crime she did not commit and is kicked out of the Order. Anakin uncovers the true criminal and clears his Padawan's name, but she decides to leave the Jedi for good, and so he loses yet another member of his family, this time as a direct result of the actions of the Jedi Council. On a mission with Obi-Wan to Utapau, Anakin sees that Separatist forces are attempting to gather giant kyber crystals for some unknown project. The novel Catalyst by James Luceno continues that story as we see the Republic take control of Geonosis and the construction of the Death Star superweapon. A brilliant scientist and expert in kyber crystals named Galen Erso is tricked into helping design the super laser itself. Another book, Dark Disciple by Christy Golden, follows Asajj Ventress and Quinlan Vos on their mission to assassinate Count Dooku, an act that fully opposes the tenets of the Jedi Code. During their time together, they fall in love. Quinlan gives himself to the dark side, but Asajj returns to the light and sacrifices herself to save Vos. The Son of Dathomir comic picks up where Darth Maul's story left off in Season 5 of the Clone Wars when he was captured by Darth Sidious. He escapes to regain control of Death Watch, but is chased throughout the galaxy by Dooku, Sidious, and General Grievous until he leads them to Mother Talzin, who they team up to kill. Maul's story will continue in the 7th season of the Clone Wars this February. And finally, the comic Kanan the Last Padawan tells the story of youngling and Padawan Kanan Jarrus during the Clone Wars. He becomes the apprentice of Jedi Master Depa Billaba, serving in multiple conflicts across the galaxy. And those are all the major TV, book, and comic stories that take place in between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. I know I skipped a ton of the Clone Wars series and I really glazed over the books and comics because I wanted to focus on Anakin. One of the best things about the Clone Wars series is seeing how the Jedi Knight had arrived at a point of such easy manipulation by Palpatine. Over the course of 3 years, he's seen hypocrisy from his allies and superiors. He's isolated himself with his secret marriage, which only enforces his jealous and controlling personality, and his attachment to Ahsoka is broken when she leaves the Jedi Order to find her own path. The canon books and comics of this time period are tenuously related to the Skywalker Saga, but The Clone Wars is the one non-film property that I would consider to be required viewing to fully understand Anakin and his downfall. If you've never seen it, now is the perfect time to check it out as we prepare for the 7th season. There is so much more that I didn't even mention, but I've given you the basic beats as they relate to the 9 episodes of the Skywalker Saga. Next week, we'll cover the stories that take place in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. Until then, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.